uh, I was supposed to pick my son up, man. It was raining at the time. I went to pick him up, and it stopped raining. So then he went ahead and got on his bicycle and rode home. So, because at school they have a rule, man. You're not supposed to ride the bikes in the rain, which is a good rule. So, he got back home though, and I was waiting in the parking lot. He never even checked if I was there or not. So I said, okay, what the hell? I'm gonna do a video here, real quick because I want to let everybody know what's going on. So, first of all, I just want to let everybody know. Thanks for the love on the Instagram. Now that I put my IG link up on my BSP channel, I'm getting a lot of love on my IG, and I put up a lot of reels, man, a lot of photos and stuff of different places I've been throughout Japan. So I'm getting love from there. It's a public IG, so I'm getting all kind of love, man, from people that I don't even know, which is cool. It's just basically I'm just putting pictures up of everywhere and videos up of places that I've been, man, in Japan. I think that I can show all the videos I want. I can talk about a lot of things here on the channel. But when you actually can sit down at your own pace and look at the photos that I've taken or watch some of the reels that I've put up, it gives you a better understanding of what Japan is like as far as visualizing it. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people are seeing things for the first time that they've never seen before in Japan, and there's a lot of reels and photos up there that you're not able to see on the channel when I do the videos. So I'm sure that's helping out a lot too. Um, so yeah, that's what I'm doing there. I am going to be putting up a lot more. I've been combing through all my photos I've taken. I said, oh, I didn't put this one up. Let me try to populate with that. You'll notice on my IG that I've been to a lot of places. Like I said, I've been to 35 prefectures. Um, I don't. Let's see. I got photos of when I was in Okinawa and Nagoya, but those are like hard photos, man. So I don't think I've taken pictures of those and put them up. So I probably won't be putting any of those up until I actually revisit those places again. As well as places like Shiga Prefecture where I've been, and Otsu City. I think the main things is Mie Prefecture where I lived before, because I've been to 35 prefectures, but I've been to four. I lived in 4 prefectures: Okinawa, Mie, Osaka, and now Niigata Prefecture, which is my last prefecture I'll be living in. Because I don't plan on moving anywhere else, unless I don't know if I bought a condo in Tokyo or Niigata somewhere, city somewhere, or another place in Japan. I wonder if that constitute me living there. I'm not just gotta see how that works, but I don't. I know that we do plan on buying a condo later on down the road, but we don't know when yet. And as you can see, it's raining right here where I'm at. We're getting a hard rain. I'm in Takata Park, not too far from where I live. And I'm gonna put my do not disturb one because I know as I'm doing this video, I'm getting a lot of alerts from my Ring camera. But I hope you can still hear me. It's raining. I'm sitting in my box car, so as soon as it rains, man, you can hear that rain coming through. We're getting a lot of wind, a lot of rain today. And this time of year, man, we usually get a lot of rain on and off throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month. It's one of my favorite times of the year because the weather starts cooling down. The temperature right now is in the highs about 15 degrees and below about 7 degrees at night, which is nice, man. Nice. On one of my videos on Instagram, I put up a video. It was about a 30-second video of me using a snowblower. Yes, I'm using a snowblower on the video. That was the first time I got it. What had happened was, and I didn't have any gloves on the videos. I'm thinking people might be like, "Hey, man, where's your gloves?" But I wasn't really doing a lot of work at the time. All I was doing was just testing it out. The guy had just delivered it to my house. Had a little bit of gas in it. I fired it up. That Honda's nice, man. I started pushing it and just making sure how it worked. He had already showed me. And I was like, yeah, I can get used to this. And trust me, I've used that snowblower a lot, man. The Josetsuki is what we call it in Japan. So I've used that a lot last winter. Looking forward to using it. They say that we're supposed to be getting a lot of snow, a lot more than last winter this year. So, I'm looking forward to that. So, I know we're starting to stock up on some things at our house just in case. And we can get stuff. I mean, the roads are pretty clear. the big roads especially, they really bring the snow trucks out, clear them up pretty well. And my road that I live on is cleared up pretty well because it's a heavy foot traffic road, so they clear that up pretty nice. So another thing I want to bring up real quick is Trump is on his way to Japan, and our Prime Minister Takaichi is on her way back from Malaysia, so she is apparently going to meet with Trump on Wednesday. Today is Monday in Japan, so Wednesday she's going to meet with Trump, Tuesday U.S. time. So everybody and the brothers looking forward to that. They already spoke on the phone. They talked about the agenda that they want to set up, and Takaichi's already said that the U.S. and Japan security and the relationship is top priority in her administration. So, which is gotta be. It's gotta be that way. And I always think that Japan should be neutral, but I think what she wants to do is her plan is to make sure that we solidify that security, which it is already solidified. I don't understand why we have to go through this every time we turn around. But she just wants to make sure that, you got to keep the U.S. on board with shit, man, when they bring up a crazy guy in the White House. I mean, if it was like the previous administration or Clinton or Obama or Bush, there wouldn't be all this big issue about, okay, what about Japan's security? But Trump is the kind of guy that talks on his own whim, so you got to keep him in line. You always got to make sure his shit's lined up. I mean, he may even say some stupid shit like, oh, we're going to cut security off. But then his advisors come back and say, well, Mr. President, we do need Japan. We ain't no Japan, no Asia. So I know that's going to be the case. But the leaders of the world still have to hear it from his big mouth that he's committed to this relationship with Japan and the U.S., which is good for me and any other American living in Japan. Because, trust me, guys, everywhere I go, when people ask me where I'm from, and I say America, their eyes still light up like, oh, you're from America. Whoa, I'm like, damn, I'm really surprised, but not really, because there's not that many Americans living in Japan, truth be told. There's not. Like I said, the numbers I put up on one of my videos said last December, as of December last year, was like, 66,000 something Americans living in registered residents in Japan. So that's not a lot compared to the fact that we got almost 4 million people living in here, foreign residents, and we're only 66,000. That ain't a lot, guys. Ain't a lot at all. So, there ain't that many of us. So we don't stand out in a negative way in Japan. The Japanese have always treated us good. The only time we get any kind of unwanted attention is when the stupid ass idiot Johnny Somalis calling himself a fucking American and come over here and just showing his ass doing these stupid ass videos he was doing. I understand his ass is in Korea. He's probably going to be doing some serious jail time. And I also saw some on YouTube that said the bitch might lose his citizenship in the U.S., where they should take his ass and ship his bitch ass back to Ethiopia or Eritrea, where he came from, when his ass is done with his Korean prison time. So we don't need that motherfucker back in the States. So that kind of thing. Sitting up there embarrassing us. And most Japanese knew, okay, this is a fucking dude from, not even from the United States, but he just happened to be a citizen of the States, and he's putting his bullshit up here. Because, trust me, the average American wouldn't do that. But I did see this other idiot. This brother was dancing all on the train and shit, looking like a fucking fool. Probably a simp ass. We don't need him up there either. Or this brother running around asking Japanese questions. Hey, I thought I saw you on IG. Can I get a picture with you? You stupid simp motherfuckers. 3 of them walking around. We don't need that kind of shit in Japan, guys. We really don't need that kind of bullshit over here. So the new prime minister and that lady, man, she's not the one. The one everybody be watching out for is Onoda Kimi Onoda, who is in charge of the foreign shit. She was born in America. She left America at 1 year old because her daddy's American and her mama's Japanese. She's tall. She's 170 centimeters tall. For a Japanese woman, that's pretty fucking tall. And, you can tell right away she's mixed with American. And she's only 42 years old. And this girl means business, man. She means business, and she going to go after these people. Like I said already, they going after the Chinese that abused that businessman visa. They already changed that up by saying, look, motherfucker, you now need $200,000 or your ass is out in 3 years. If you ain't got that money, you need to go and get out. See? So that's the way it's got to work. That's where Japan's going. Also, the new prime minister got a lot of love during an Asian summit in Malaysia. She got a lot of love down there, and she's getting a lot of love in Japan. Her approval rating is what? She has a 71% approval rate, which is fucking high. It's the highest it's been in a while for any prime minister. So she's got that. And the market over here, the day we broke a record, the Nikkei broke a record, well over 50,400 points. The Nikkei was up big time because they're very optimistic about this new administration. And I know, to me, what I'm watching right now is I'm watching how she handles Trump's bitch ass. Because I want to know how she handles Trump. You know, Trump doesn't respect people that be melting all over. You gotta stand up in his face. Trump respect the motherfucker standing up in his face, and I think she's gonna do that. She's gonna get in his face and say, look, this is where we need to go with this relationship. And that's the way it's gotta work. Because, you know, you gotta stand up to Trump, man. You can't, because they still gotta nibble on that. What are they gonna do with that $550 billion they want Japan to invest? And then he's talking about some bullshit. Well, we will tell you how to invest it. That's what kind of fucking deal is that? Or you gonna tell me how to invest my own money? Well, motherfucker, please. But that's what kind of deal they got. And they would mention also that Arakawa, who's the new Ministry of I forgot what but he's got one of the number one positions here in Japan too. Akazawa, he you know, what you call it? I'm looking for. So he was the one that was on that Trump deal, and so he you know, I don't know who this person is on my chat, but I'm gonna go ahead and block them off, man. I don't know who this person is. They're saying some stupid shit up here. Let me go ahead and remove this thing right here. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and remove this because I don't need this kind of shit up here. So that user that I had, there was a guy that was saying some stupid shit. So I'm not gonna put up with no bullshit, guys. If I see some shit that's not even pertinent to the video I'm doing, I'm just gonna go ahead and yank. So pull the motherfucker off. So now I've hidden the channel from this person. He was basically a troll, just kind of get up here and say some bullshit. You know, people ain't got shit better to do, man, than to get up here and try to troll somebody's channel. So, you know, it is what it is, man. People, it's the world, man. It's people coming from all over the world. Some fucking nut bucket, you know. So anyway, getting back to the serious note. So, yeah, so I'm trying to see how she's going to react to Trump. That's the big thing right there. I don't think that she's going to have any problem with him. They already had a good conversation on the phone. They already know what they're going to be dealing with. So, like I said, she said the number one priority is the American relationship with Japan. Is our relationship with U.S. is desperate. Because I'm in Japan now. I live in Japan. So, our relationship with the U.S., that's the number one priority. So, now, I want to say this here, guys. So, a lot of things are quickly changing in Japan. But Japan is not anti-foreign. Let's get that through these people's thick skulls. Japan is not anti-foreign, so I don't know why people are still doing these videos, trying to get this fucking clickbait, saying this and that, the other. They're not anti-foreign. They're abusing our system. That's what they are. They're anti-abusing the system. So we don't need that kind of shit. So, you know, guys can still come over here. But I do know that we are going to be getting stricter on people who doing these stupid ass videos and becoming nuisances in Japan, and also the tourists who don't know how to behave. We need the motherfucking tourists to behave in Japan. And the reason why people can get away with so much bullshit right now, not like I can say in Italy, if you did the same shit in Italy, the Italians be all over your ass right away, right? The Spanish be all over your ass right away. Japanese are very polite. They don't always go out. But they do hire foreign securities now in Roppongi that will get in your ass if you get out of line. So they are, you know, I know this brother that works over there. Every time I see him, I give him a pound. Every time I'm in Tokyo. So, you know, they will report you. And their job is to basically visualize and call the police. And they will have the police out there. And trust me, guys, you got to understand one thing about Japan and the way things work work with the police. Somebody's behind me. Oh, these school kids behind me. So the way they work with the police is that you might see one or two cops at first, but if it gets out of hand within minutes, they got 40 cops up there trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. Yeah, it's that kind of country. You may not see, I don't see hardly any cops. Every day in my life, I don't see any more than any cops. In fact, the most policemen I've seen in one area was when I was in Tokyo around the Diet building. All those government buildings, now you got police, guard and standing around, buses, security everywhere around there, which is what they should have in the States, which they probably got now anyway. But yeah, around the Diet, the Prime Minister's office, all that, man, they got police out there. Hey, what's up, Jay? How you doing, brother? Hey, we got to talk, man. I know I haven't spoken in a minute. You just woke up, so when I get done with this video, I'll give you a call, brother, see how you doing. Thanks for coming on the channel, brother. Just trying to keep it. I need to know what your timeline is, man, for getting over to Japan, because I know we've known each other, man, over 4 years now, and I'm just trying to say, okay, when are you gonna come back? Yeah, you finally caught up live, dog. Damn, it's early where you at, man. It's like 3:30. Well, you gotta get up. You gotta go to office early this morning. You gotta go to work this morning early. Is that why you up that early? Because if I'm not mistaken, it's 3:30 where you are, right? They haven't changed the time yet. I know what next week, or did you guys fall back already? Okay, so you guys fall back, I think, the end of this month. So yeah, what's up, Boss Finger? Yes, that's right, brother. I'm in my Dodgers, man. We lost game one to Toronto, and I got nothing but love for all the teams, man. I don't disrespect any team, because without them, there's no us, right? What I'm saying, without that tough competition, there's no Dodgers. So when you beat a tough, good team like the Jays or the Phillies or whoever to get in there, whoever we beat, Phillies, I think we beat the Reds, Brewers, Phillies, Brewers. My hat goes off to all those guys, all the fans of those teams, man. And, hey, baseball is baseball. I love the game. It's my favorite sport. If it wasn't for the other teams, there's no us. If it wasn't for the MLB, there's no us, man. The only thing I'm going to say this right here on my channel, the only thing that I think the MLB messed up, besides not letting black players in the league until 47, was not letting the entire black Negro League in the league. They let the players in. They started letting players in individually, but I really think that they should have started letting in. They should have let in the entire team, like the Homestead Grays, Kansas City Monarchs, the Pittsburgh Black Pirates, these kind of teams. Because if they've done that, guess what? Because I just checked, the Yankees are worth what? About $8.2 billion. The Dodgers $6 billion. And the cheapest team, I forgot who they were, is like $1 billion. So just imagine 12 other teams from the Negro League worth at least $2 billion. You see what I'm saying? How many black jobs that would create with those black teams owned by black men, and then they create black jobs, So thanks, brother. Thanks, Jay. Appreciate it, brother. Thanks, man. So I don't. Okay, Ding Wen, China. That's my whole shit. I'm not sure what you mean by that, brother, but you need to clarify. And guys, I'm telling you, man, I see comments up here, man. Like I had this one guy earlier. He was talking some smack. I just went ahead and hit the channel from him, man. I can't keep guys on me like this on the chats, man. I can't do that. I'm trying to keep everything sane right now. You know what I'm saying? My big players, man. Bond Swings and Jay. Y'all know what's up. He's not up here yet. Shaq Fu, Mercs 89, brothers like that. Mufasa, Soul Shader, those brothers. The regular brothers that usually come up when they know I'm up. But those brothers are sleeping right now, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, man. So that's what it is. That's what's up. So the Dodgers, we're now 1-1. And I'm also a Tigers fan in Japan. So funny, my Tigers are 1-1 in the Nippon series, the Hanshin Tigers. And that team is interesting because I wasn't a Tigers fan before I moved to Japan, but I became a fan because they won the year I moved back to Japan in 23. They won the series again. They've only won the series twice, and both times when I moved to Japan. In 1985, when I first came to Japan, they won the series. And then 2023, they won the series. And I'm the year of the Tiger. I said, you know what? I might as well be a Tigers fan. I used to be Seibu. I go for the Tigers now. And my son and my daughter's godparents, they love the Tigers, man. They're crazy about the Tigers. So, but Bond Swing said, I'm a Card fan. Since my fiance. Yeah, of course, brother. You beat the force if you wasn't a Card fan. You'd be divorced. He wasn't a Card fan, man. And what these guys keep talking around me, I thought they was gonna be moving somewhere, but they're stuck right here talking around the car. But yeah, you'd be divorced, man, if you was a Card fan, man. If you wasn't a Card fan, you know. So yeah, they serious about their Torio Cart, man. They serious. No, asked her. She probably know who Kinugasa is. He was a half Japanese, half black brother. That, or Kobayakawa, those guys. They used to play for. They were some great players, Kobayakawa and Kinugasa for the Toyo Kart, man. They were good, man. They were really good. They even fucked up their uniform lately. I used to like their uniform when they looked like the Reds. Me, I'm a simple uniform guy, like the Trinity Dragons on, and now they get all this fancy shit they wear, and they got these designs going on in place. But I'm an old school uniform guy. That's why I love the Dodgers, man. Dodgers old school, blue and white, with little red numbers. And I got my Dodger, you see I got my LA swag on. My suitcase, I was messing up my jumper here. Got my LA Dodgers, jumper on, the same one that they wear in the games, man. In the bullpen, I got my bullpen garb on. So, we got a game tomorrow, man. Game 3. I got to say, man, Yamamoto kicked that ass, man. Yamamoto shut him down. And Toronto's a good hitting team. I just think that Blake could have did the same thing. Blake Snellzilla could have did the same thing in game 1, but Snellzilla ran into some issues with his fastball. His command was off. And, you need that fastball to set that curveball up and that changeup. His fastball was off. So they was just sitting on that changeup, man, and just wheeling it out of here. Now, yeah, right. Yamamoto was throwing some fire. Now, we got Glasnow pitching tomorrow, and Glasnow is that big flamethrower too, man. He's good. Once he gets on this game, he usually you get an 0-2. He gets you up 0-2. He's pretty much, you're done. You're going to strike out. So, I called the series before it started. I called the Dodgers in 5. This is the same thing I did last year against the Yankees. I called the Dodgers. Actually called it in 6, and Dodgers won in 5. This year I called it in 5. I just think the Dodgers had too much time off, even though Dave Roberts was saying they wasn't. But now that they're back in the groove, man, they're going to be good. And the reason why, the Dodgers to me are better than they were last year, because we got that starting pitching going. The bullpen's kind of concerning me right now. I don't like my pitcher leaving in the 7th inning, and we're only up 2-1 with that bullpen coming in. And now Vesia got the situation with the family, so he's out of the playoff. Because I really like Vesia, man. When he comes in, he gets all fired up. Roki can close him. The guy that they spent all this fucking money on, Scott, who's supposed to be our closer, is out, which kind of drove me up the wall. Because I'm like, why the fuck's he out? Blake Trine is not pitching like he usually pitched. Last year he pitched much better. This year he's not. I think he's on his way out. I think the Dodgers are going to move him out next month. He's not going to be staying in there. So that's why I'm keeping my eyeball on them. Bonda had a bad game in game 1. I think he's going to be mellow. He's going to be chilling out. Now, all we got to do is get him some bigger leads. So, yeah, you're right. Ohtani is so big in Japan. Yeah, I've seen him a lot on J. Yeah, you see him a lot on JL Jets. He's on everything, especially in Tokyo. He's on everything out here, too, and then he got the 2. Ohtani is big, man, and Ohtani, he's pitching game 4 for the Dodgers. So the scenario, hopefully, with Tyler can win tomorrow, and then Ohtani come cleaning up in 4, and then Snellzilla get to shut the series down in game 5 to get the Dodgers. I really don't want to go back to Toronto, but if we go back to Toronto, guess who's pitching? Yamamoto. They're gonna put Yamamoto back on there, big time. He's gonna be pitching in Toronto, and they don't want to see his ass again, for sure. So that's what I'm saying. I'm assuming that we're gonna be celebrating. I am going to. I was at the MLB Cafe last year. I went to see a couple games. I was in Fukuoka last year, and I was set up to watch 7 games. And I watched a couple games, games 4 and 5. We lost game 4. I was with my friend Mufasa up in there in Fukuoka. He went to check out Food City. So he's in Food City at the MLB Cafe right outside the SoftBank Hawks Stadium. And trust me, those Fukuoka fans are crazy about the Hawks, who were in the series this year again with the Tigers. But they lost it last year to Dina. We were giving them all the love. I was trying to spread the love to the Hawks, man, but they lost last year just because they were in there. And then I like people from Fukuoka. But yeah, so but I was at the MLB Cafe. We won it, and then what happened, brothers, was I gotta find this picture and put it up on my IG account. So we were there, and the Kyushu Broadcasting System interviewed me and Mufasa in Game 4. We couldn't find ourselves on TV because we wasn't back at the hotels at the time. Mufasa wasn't. I think he had something else to do. I got back to my room and I just didn't see it. And then the next day, the guy that saw us in Game 4, there was a guy from the Yomiuri Shimbun, the Yomiuri newspaper, which is the biggest newspaper in Japan, who kept hanging around us, and he was talking to us little by little, and then he took a picture. And then the next day in Game 5, he said, okay, if the Dodgers win, can you stand over there and celebrate? I'm going to take a picture. And I thought, oh, yeah, whatever. So we get up there, and we celebrate. Yay, he took our picture. Next, man, I'm in the newspaper the next day. Me and Mufasa, we're in the newspaper, and he sent me. I got 2 copies. Sent me a copy of the newspaper to my address at home here in Joe City, and the original photo that he took, and I'm in the paper, man, from last year. So that was a beautiful experience for me, celebrating the Dodgers win, man. And you see on my IG, I got a toast to me and Mufasa up there toasting the Dodgers. So hopefully I'll be doing it this year. I am going to find me a local MLB cafe. I think the closest one to me might be in Nagano City. I got to check and see what's up with that. And then I'll go over there and wear my Dodger garb and cheer for my Dodgers over there. So I got to see what's going on. I don't think I'll be able to get in when Ohtani's pitching, though. So I may have to wait to go on when Snellzilla's pitching in Game 5. I'll see what's up. So that's what I got going on, guys. That's what I got going on, man. I'm out here just getting ready to head back to the house. It's going to be dark soon. I told my son I'd pick him up from his school. Because one more thing I want to say. Because we got a lot of bears, man, hitting up. Now, we haven't had any bears in our neighborhood, although my neighbor told me that we had a bear in the neighborhood a few years ago. But oh, you like that library video? Yeah, thanks, brother. Yes, thank you. Yeah, we had bears. We got some bear issues, and I know Bond Swings, you probably have some bear issues too. All over Japan, man. We just had 20-something-year-old guys get attacked by a bear today. And so I didn't want my son walking down, even though he walks out a big road, when he comes home, I didn't want him to have to run into that at night because it gets really dark really fast now in Japan. He's at his Kumon right now. So I told my wife, I said, don't worry, I'll pick him up when he gets off, so I ain't gonna worry about him getting attacked by no damn bear, man. And we live in the foothills too, man. We right up on the mountains, man. So we know. And a lot of my neighbors got like fruit trees and shit. So they come and they eat that. Now, I did see, my neighbor just gave me a picture last week of a wild boar, 2 wild boars, who I'd seen on one of my videos one night, because I got my house's 360 video coverage. And one night about midnight, the wild boar and 2 of her cubs were walking in the yard next to us. Then the next morning, you seen all that foot. Because when I seen the footprints the next morning, I'm like, oh shit. And then I looked through our video and I saw that they had walked out there. So the dangerous times are when you're out late at night and early in the morning, like wee hours in the morning. You gotta be careful. Like I said, we get a lot of foot traffic because people walk up and down our hill all the time doing the morning walks and afternoon walks or whatnot. So, but Bondswing said they need to revise gun laws for bears and wild animals. They should, but they won't. Yes, Bondswing. I was just talking about that, man, because I love to eat me some bear meat. I know that wild boar meat is some good ass eating. I ate some wild boar before. That's some good eating. Yeah, I think they should too. Here's what I think is gonna happen. You know how Japan is. And I don't need this to happen, but I know that they're going to wake the fuck up. All they need is for a wild animal to attack a little elementary school kid. Once that shit happens, they're going to change the rule. They're going to be like, all right, fuck it. Let's go get these motherfuckers. And they're going to be hunting for all of them. And there's going to be some bear-eating seasons around this bitch. You watch. The reason why they don't go after the bears now, because some Europeans and them are like, hey, y'all shouldn't do this. We got to care about this and that. Just like they do with the whales with the Japanese. You got to care about this, that, the other. It's Japanese. I always tell people, this is Japan. This is Japan. And then Damian Willie said, yeah, I heard about attacks from Japanese black bears. Yeah. And the black bears attack a lot. And you want to know something? This dude, I think he was in his early 40s, man. He got attacked a few weeks ago And he said that the bear, man, he was surprised. He said he was walking and he heard a growl in the bush, and then before he knew it, man, the bear was out on him. And he said that bear, that bite, man, he said the bite was so, he said he never felt that kind of strength. He said that bite, when the bear bit him, it was so strong. The bear just bit down on him so hard. It was a baby bear. It was no longer than 60 centimeters, but that bear was powerful. And those claws, they got powerful claws. They're fast, and they can climb really good. So I got in my bag right now, and on my keychain I got my bell. When I walk out there, and Bonsby said, but Japan don't give a damn about wild animals, like you said. They love whaling despite the international criticism. Exactly. They don't really give a damn about wild animals, but they just, when the Europeans, oh, we're going to put the pressure on Japan. Look at the Japanese are killing the wild animals. I'd be like, this is Japan, guys. We don't have all that fucking space that you got to get away from wild animals. Our country is 75% mountainous. We are only able to use 25% of this beautiful land over here in Japan. So everybody's packed on everybody. And when the animals come down from the 75% down to the 25%, it's open season. They come down, they attack, and they do what they got to do. These motherfuckers, man, are even going in people's houses. Yes, they are. They're opening doors. So what I've done is, I don't usually do this, man, but now during the day, I'll lock my door. I'll lock my front door. And even though I got an outer door too, so they got to open the outer door before they come in, then they got to try to open the other door. But I got to leave the outer door unlocked because the postman delivers and people packages and shit. But my inner doors, man, I lock it. So when people bring, we look at the intercom, we go to the door, the motherfucker, don't be surprised if a bear rang your intercom and shit, and you better check your intercom. That ring, man, you look up, you see a bear's ass because he had pushed his paw on the intercom or some shit, and what the fuck you want? I want to get in your house. Motherfucker, you ain't getting in my house. Go out there and get the fruit trees. I'm going to break in. They can't break through doors, but they can open that shit. See? So, yeah. Bosby said he have a few German Shepherds. Yeah, I thought about the dogs, man, but I'm more of I like a Japanese. I like the Akita. The Akita dog is the bomb. And those are nice dogs, man, real mellow. But we don't get, I'm allergic to pets right now for some reason. I don't know why. And I love pets. I had a cat for 10 years. I had dogs before. But I'm allergic to pets. And we travel a lot. So we don't really have time to watch our pets. And then if we take them with us, then we got to worry about, okay, where can they stay? I mean, they got a lot of pet-friendly places in Japan, but sometimes you just don't know. More and more people are getting more pet-friendly, man, in Japan. Trust me, there's a lot of places to take your pets. But, yeah, we just there. That's why we kind of like, nah, we don't need a pet. But, yeah, I see what you're saying, man. You know, I see what you're saying about that. But, yeah, you just got to be careful, man. Don't make sure you don't put no food out, or no unnecessary food and shit. Like, your garbage, none of that shit out there, man. Because they smell that food. They're going to be coming at that shit. Them, the fucking raccoons. We got wild rabbits, raccoons. We got Japanese badgers around here. What they call the anaguma. We got wild boar. We got bears. A lot of bears. But we haven't seen it in our neighborhood yet. But we know we got bears around here. We know we got the wild boar because we've seen those in 2 pictures already, and like I said, one inside my yard. And keep in mind, man, a wild boar, that motherfucker can lift 70 kilograms just with his head. So if he's coming at you, or it's coming at you, it can knock you off your ass. Because if you weigh less than 70 kilograms, I weigh about 70 kilograms. So it comes after me, it is knocking me all over the goddamn place. You know? So Bond Swings asked me, am I going to build a second home in Japan for investment? No, I'm actually not going to build a second home. I'm going to buy a condominium. Because my wife's parents, they live up in Niigata City, and we go to Niigata City, quite a bit. And so man, keep in mind, out here in Niigata City, man, or not where I live, but up in Niigata City, they got some bad hotels, man. They only have the Hotel Nikko and the Okura and the Grand, but they're small. The Nikko looks nice on the outside, but it's not. They clean it, but it's all beat up when you go in the rooms and shit. from all the conferences that they had stay there. The Appa Hotel and the Toyo Inn are just business hotels. You know, ain't no 13-year. My son's almost 13. Ain't no 13-year-old tall boy almost tall as me, with my wife and daughter and I gonna be able to stay in one room. So every time you make reservations, they want you to stay in 2 rooms. So when we go to Niigata the city, my son stays with my father-in-law and my mom-in-law, and me and my wife and daughter stay in the same room because she's only 4 years old. So so no, I've never been to Miyazaki near K-Toy. Not yet. I haven't been there yet. That is definitely on my list. I will definitely go there. I think that's where a lot of fucking tourists go. I try to avoid all the tourist spots as much as I can. I may go one time just say, okay, I've been here. I see the hype. Okay, great. Take some pictures, and I'm out and won't be going back anytime soon. We actually need that fucking yen to get stronger so these motherfuckers will stop coming over here and flooding our country with the bullshit so that way we can have peace and tranquility again in Kyoto. We need that. But yeah, man, I got, if I ever have a bear, I was gonna say if I ever have a bear attack in my neighborhood, there's this bear spray. I thought it cost 30,000 yen a can. I gotta see. There's a wild outdoor store, good store in our city. They're kind of steep, man. The prices called, I think they're called Wild West or something. I forgot what they were, but they're not cheap. And but they do sell a lot of good shit. I got my bell from there. I got my whistle from there. But that bear spray, man, they just trust me. I get one bear, I'm buying that fucking bear spray because that shit's strong. It'll fuck a bear up, you know. And I'm not in the mood to get attacked by bears, guys. I'm just not, man. Neither me or my family. In fact, when I woke up this morning, I had a vision that a crazy thought that me and my daughter both got attacked by a bear, and by instinct I just pushed her in the house and told her to go in real quick while the bear was on me, and I got all scratched up. You know, you got to cover your neck because they always go after your neck and whatnot. And then while you're getting attacked, you scream, and then they'll start running away. But they're gonna scratch the fuck out of you and bite the fuck out of you. They're gonna leave you with a lot of marks on your ass if you survive. Now, one guy got attacked by a bear. I think a lady or a guy got killed. The bear dragged them. They just dragged them, man, to wherever they wanted to drag them, and they of course they were dead. You know, you get a bear dragging a motherfucker, they done. And that's because they're working in the fields looking for shit like vegetables or picking things. They're farmers, and the bear, you don't want to turn your back on the bear. You turn your back, man, and the bear's just coming up from you behind you and getting you. I did see a video where a guy in Canada was really good. He was like making himself as big, and he was shooing the bear away, whoop, 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 making a lot of noise, and the bear was kind of like confused, backing up and shit, and to the point where he got to his car door and opened his car and got in, and he beat his horn, beep, 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 and the bear started running away. So there are things you can do. The problem is that we don't always practice how to how to get away from wild animals every day. So when you come and you see, you know, that your back starts getting all fucking, nerves start jumping through your back real quick. You get that chill in your spine, and you see that motherfucker coming right across the street from you, and you're like, holy shit, and you got to think fast, otherwise you're gonna get bitten. Yeah, I think modified long knives are gonna become a thing. The media reporting the instance knife attacks in Japan. Yeah. The thing with the long knife, you got to be careful with that in Japan. If you have a long knife in your car and you're driving around, even as a tool, and you get pulled over by a policeman, please don't tell the police to check your car. Don't give them permission to check your car if they don't have any reason to check your car. Because what will happen is if they check your car and they find that knife, then that's a felony. You're going to do some time. So I've only been pulled over by the police since I've been back once, and that was because I got a ticket for making an illegal right turn that I didn't even know about. Because the way I came on the street, I came down and made a right turn right away, so there was no way for me to see any signs real quick, and then they didn't let me go. My wife said in Niigata, the prefecture, they would have let me go. This was 2 years ago, but they didn't let me go. I just got my license in Japan a week earlier, my wife and I, and we was in Kanazawa, and that motherfucker gave us a ticket. It's like, what the fuck? And it was so interesting because My son was crying. I was trying to calm him down. I said, don't worry about it, son. The one guy, it was his boss that was a big asshole. He's like, no, well, you're getting a ticket anyway. You're getting a ticket anyway. And so I was like, all right, after I calmed down a little bit, I said, well, look, I just got nasty. I said, well, look, tell me where's the fucking place I can pay a ticket, because I'm going to pay this motherfucker right away. I just said it all in Japanese, man, to him like that. And the cop knew, oh, this guy's not happy. I said, yeah, you let me know. Don't worry. I'm going to pay this thing right away. Where can I pay right away? Because my wife was all worried about me. Oh, you might not be able to get your age, you can, all that stuff. Well, that's already washed away. I went to the bank and paid the ticket. Bam, right away, man. And they were like, oh, shit, he got the ticket out the way. So, yeah, and since then, I've been cool. But, yeah, I had to do that. And then guess what? All my life, when people do something bad to me, man, bad shit happens. A few months later, the fucking Noto, the big-ass earthquake hit in Ishikawa. And my wife and I keep saying, oh, no, we didn't want that to happen. No, we didn't. And then I found that this policeman had lost his whole family in that earthquake. So, you go figure, right? But like she said, in Niigata, Ken, they would have been like, oh, okay, next time be careful. Most prefects would be like, next time be careful. Because I'm not from there. But they wouldn't just give me tickets. They was giving all these other people tickets too. I seen people behind me getting lined up. They was clocking people. So it ain't because I'm a foreigner, black, and none of that shit in Japan. They treat everybody the same. They were giving these motherfuckers behind me doing the same thing tickets. So yeah. Boss Swing. Yeah, you're lucky, man, because I never expected to get pulled over at that time. I think when I was in Okinawa and my whole time driving in Japan, I got, if I can count, 3 tickets. 3 tickets. My first ticket was, I was in a bus lane in Okinawa. I was only in Okinawa for a few months. I was in a bus lane. I was with this chick that should have been in the seat where I was going. And the police pulled me over, man. But in Okinawa, they're always looking for Americans. Now, they look for Americans hard. Because you got the Yankee plate, you got the wire and the license plate and shit. And then the next time I got a ticket, a few years later, that was my fault. I was on my way to Singapore, but in a few weeks. But I was left my house, was going to teach English that Saturday morning, man. I was speeding, of course, because there wasn't nobody else. I was doing 80 and 50, and I was like, okay, I'm good. And I seen this new thing. I looked, I said, oh shit, what's that? And then I looked straight, and then these cops were waving me in, come on in, come on in, come on in. I was like, oh fuck, they got me. And so they got me, and then of course they had to report it to the base authorities. So the base said, well, in Japan, I was on SOFA status, so you can't go nowhere until you pay your ticket. So I remember going down to Okinawa. I was doing everything quick because I had to get that ticket taken care of real fast. I can go to this Singapore trip because that was my last class in college, man. I needed to go to that Singapore trip. And so the guy said, okay, I can get it done for you, but I need you to do some translation for me. So I had to do this motherfucker a favor to get my ticket taken care of real quick. So that's how it works. So on Bond Street, you saying, what, do you feel like people tailgate a lot in Japan? I've noticed a lot of aggressive driving, and it's really the foreigners. Yeah, I've seen that. I've never been tailgated, but I have seen them sometimes on the freeways, man. On the Kosogudo, there'll be tailgates of people. Where I live in Niigata, the people out here, generally, they drive really nice. They're really good drivers in Niigata because we are a serious driver's prefecture. So people in Niigata drive really well. So, yeah, I haven't seen that much tailgating, but I know that, it's, let's check my phone for a minute, because, my wife is going to be calling me up pretty soon. My son's done. Yes, that's what happened. Yeah, I've seen that, but not much here. But anyway, guys, I'm going to shut this down, man. Thanks for watching. Just want to give you guys some updates on what's going on here in Japan. I'm going to have to go get my son here in a minute. But I will talk to you brothers later, man. Thanks for coming. Thanks for the love on the channel. Thanks for coming up, Bond Swings. Jay, I'll call you up in a little bit, brother. I'll talk to you brothers later on. This is BSP. I'm out.